Slugs, released February 5th, 1988. Directed, co-written by Juan Pipquar Simon, the other co-writer being Ron Gantman, based on the novel Slugs by Sean Hudson, starring nobody you've ever heard of. So the movie opens with a guy fishing with his girl. The girl takes her pants off. It's like, all right, we're getting busy right away. But he gets pulled into the water, there's a ton of blood, and the opening credits begin. An older guy gets home with his dog. The dog is barking its head off, but the dog's mouth is not actually moving. So it's like, you know, you could at least like maybe shot the dog from behind, so we could not plainly tell the dog is not doing anything. There's slugs in this guy's basement, but it's later revealed that his floor in the basement is literally just a layer of trash. So it's like, where are the slugs actually? Well, turns out they're maybe on the couch, because he lays down on the couch, not noticing these slugs, because then he screams, "No! Get off me!" Alright, didn't notice all these slugs. At a country club, Brady, the health inspector for the town, and his teacher wife, they're leaving. It's really just a pointless scene that introduces a bunch of characters in succession. So it's like, alright, I guess it did its job. Brady goes along with the sheriff to go evict the guy we met earlier in the film, and there's just happy music playing. Nothing happier than evicting a guy from his home. Brady lights up a cigarette in the squad car, then asks if it's okay if he can smoke. I mean, maybe ask before you light up, dude. At the house, they find his body all chewed up. Later, a bunch of kids from the high school, they're able to just leave the school to go to lunch. It's like, damn, I wish I had that kind of freedom when I was in high school. But that is when the goat killer is mentioned. It's only mentioned one other time after this, and then it's never brought up again. I'm interested in this goat killer. There's a humorous scene of a guy literally fighting his hand because a slug like got up into his glove, and like he's screaming and screaming, "Help, help, help, oh my god," he's freaking the hell out. But his wife is just in the house doing her wifely duties, you know, cleaning up. Doesn't hear a thing until he starts chopping his hand off with a hatchet. But then, of course, some corrosive shit gets on the floor. It catches fire. Happens to be a gas can just hanging out in their little greenhouse. And boom! Goodbye greenhouse. Goodbye couple. Brady later sees these slugs in his wife's own garden. He gets bitten on the finger. And clearly a wound because there's blood. But later on, no blood, no wound. No Band-Aid, no wrapping, bandage, anything. So it's like, that is a massive continuity error, man. I mean, that's lazy. One of the other couples we met at the country club, the wife is chopping up lettuce, and there's a slug inside the lettuce. So she is chopping up the lettuce with the slug in it. Feeds it to her husband, and the husband later has cramps. So I'm sitting there wondering, why doesn't the wife have cramps? Did she not eat the same salad? Did she eat something completely different? It is then sexy time for one of the high school couples, though obviously over the age of 18 if they're having a sex scene. There's slugs just covering the floor. They didn't notice this at all when they got into bed. And as slow as slugs are, I highly doubt they filled up the floor during sexy time. But it is what it is. I guess the slugs eat them while they are completely naked. We then find out that this town in the 50s and 60s had a toxic waste dump. And now they're building a mall over it. So it's like, okay, I guess the slugs are the result of toxic waste. It's never explicitly said, but it's pretty clear. At a business lunch, the guy who ate the slug salad, he just starts bleeding all over the place, and like worms start coming out of his head, and just his head just basically explodes with the worms coming all over it. We find out that is a parasite that lives inside the bloodstream of slugs. So it's like, ooh, science. A science teacher then in the school lab develops some kind of chemical that makes the slugs explode. So they go into the sewer and basically set fire to the sewer to kill the slugs. That was interesting. The acting leaves a lot to be desired, but even if this was well acted, it would not save anything. The plot may work well on paper, but it really does not translate well onto screen. I don't know how well it follows the novel, but the concept on the big screen is just pretty ridiculous. There's solid practical effects, and really that's the only thing that makes this film even remotely watchable. But my big concern overall is who is the goat killer? It's mentioned twice by one of the high school students, but it's never expanded or elaborated on. Is it a goat-like human that kills people? Is it just a regular dude that kills goats but moves on to people? Is it literally a killer goat? I'm honestly more interested in the details of this goat killer than I am of the killer slugs. D-. Thank you for watching Fatman Inc. Craptacular Horror. Leave a like if you enjoyed and a comment to discuss your thoughts. Make sure to subscribe to see more reviews of horror movies new and old. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.